Thank you, friends, for stopping by. I am Tutor Cletus Okoli. Today, I want to teach quadratic equation using quadratic formula. Okay? So, I have two examples to explain how we can solve quadratic equations using this formula method. Question number 1, we are given 2x raised to the power 2 minus 3x minus 5 equal to 0. That is what we are given. Now, every quadratic equation appears in this form: ax raised to the power 2 plus bx plus c equal to 0. This is the form of a quadratic equation. Meaning, with this form of a quadratic equation, we can compare it to the question given to us. The coefficient of x squared here is a. So the coefficient of x squared here is 2, meaning that my a is equal to 2 in the question that I am given. Also, the coefficient of x here is b. So the coefficient of x here is minus 3. So it means that my b is minus 3. I have known b. Lastly, the value of c here is equivalent to minus 5 in the question, meaning that my c can be written as minus 5. Then we have what we call quadratic formula. That quadratic formula says that to find x, it is equal to minus b plus or minus, then b squared minus 4ac, everything all over 2a. This is what we call quadratic formula. With this formula, we can get an answer to this question, because in this formula, what we can see are a, b, and c. The letters we can see, the constants we can see are a, b, and c. A, b, and c. They are the different letters in the quadratic formula. That is why we try to get the values of a, b, and c from the given question, which we have gotten as a equal to 2, b equal to minus 3, and c equal to minus 5. What is next is to substitute these values of a, b, and c into the quadratic formula, and we will get the values of x. Of course, you know that the values of x are going to be 2, because it is a quadratic equation, okay, where x is quadratic, meaning the answers for x, the values for x, the results for x are going to be 2. Alright, let's go on. Now, I will go into substitution. My b is minus 3, so I have minus 3. Why? Because there is minus in my formula, and then the value of b is represented as minus 3. Then, plus or minus the square root of minus 3 squared, then minus 4 times my a, which is 2, then times my c, which is minus 5. Everything all over 2 times 2, half. The value of a is 2, so 2a, meaning 2 times a, and my a is 2. Also here, b raised to power 2, b here is minus 3 raised to power 2. Then 4 times a is 2. Then times c, 4 times ac, then my c here is minus 5. What I have done is that I have replaced the values of a, b, and c into that formula called quadratic formula, meaning that if you know the quadratic formula, you are halfway to getting the solution to the answers. Okay? So that quadratic formula that I know, I have now replaced all the letters in the formula with numbers that came from the question given to me. If I now solve it, it's just a simplification. My answers for x will come out. Alright? So therefore, we move on. Minus is plus. So I have plus or minus. Minus 3 squared is 9. Then minus times minus inside the bracket. Minus outside the bracket times minus inside the bracket will give me plus. 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 times 5 is 40. Everything all over 4. That is what I'll have. Now, if I solve this, I am going to get 3 plus or minus the square root of 49 all over 4. That is 9 plus 40. You see, it is simplification now. Meaning that my value of x now will be 3 plus or minus square root of 49 is 7 all over 4. What does that mean? I am almost done. What I will now do is to add 3 and 7. Because I have addition, I have subtraction, I will add 3 and 7 over 4 and get the first answer. I will also do 3 minus 7 over 4 because first one is plus, second one is minus. So playing around that, the first one, x is equal to 3 plus 7 over 4. While the second one, x is equal to 3 minus 7 over 4. What have I done? Plus or minus. I have now separated the plus and minus. So I will use plus and get the first answer. I will use minus and get the second answer. Remember I told you at the beginning that the values of x are going to be 2 because x is raised to power 2, meaning x is quadratic. So the answers are going to be 2. Now, solving for the first one, I will now get x is equal to 10 over 4, which is equal to 5 over 2. That is reducing it to the lowest term. 3 plus 7, 10 over 4. Reducing it to this. So you can now write that x is equal to 2 and a half. Coming to the second one, I will have x is equal to 3 minus 7 is minus 4 over 4, which is minus 1. So in conclusion, we can simply say that the values of x are 2 and a half or minus 1. These are the values of x. What does it mean? If I take this minus 1 now and put it anywhere I see x in this question, I am going to get 0. If you want to try it, put minus 1 here. Minus 1 squared will give me plus 1. Okay? 1 squared, negative 1 squared is positive 1. And 1 times 2 will give me 2. Put minus 1 here. Minus 3 times minus 1 will still give me plus 3. So 2 plus 3 is 5. And 5 minus 5 will give me 0. That is correct answer. If you also try it with the 2 and a half, you still get 0. We go to question number 2. We have solved 1. Remember, solving quadratic equation using quadratic formula. That is formula method. There are 4 formulas. The first one, factorization method. We also now have formula method. We have another one, completing the square method. We have another one, graphical method. These are 4 formulas we can use in mathematics to solve quadratic equations. But the one that we are explaining this moment in this video is solving with the formula method. If you learn this mathematics is very, very important. This topic is very important in mathematics. You cannot do without it, especially in grades 10, 11, and 12, like SS1, 2, and 3, higher college. It is always there. Okay, it comes often. It is a very important topic in mathematics. All right, so let's go to number 2. Like I did in number 1, let me also remind you that we have ay squared plus by then plus c equal to 0, like what I have written here. So this is the form how every quadratic equation looks. So I have represented it here, but here I represented it in terms of y, because the equation is given to me to find y. While here, the equation is given to me to find x, so that there will be no confusion. It is just as simple as that. But remember that I will find the values of a, b, and c. Now, y squared here has a coefficient of a. Y squared here has a coefficient of 3, meaning that a is equal to 3. Then, y here has a coefficient of b, meaning that y here has a coefficient of minus 13, meaning that my b is equal to minus 13. Can you see it now? Also, the value of c here is equivalent to minus 10 in the question given to me. So my c is equal to negative 10. You can now see I have used the form of a quadratic equation to get the equivalent values of the letters that are often seen in the quadratic formula, because I need a, b, and c that always appears in the quadratic formula. So every question given to me in quadratic equation, I need to know these letters in the quadratic formula, because I am using quadratic formula to solve it. So because I'm using this quadratic formula to solve it, and what is the quadratic formula? That y is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. This is what we call quadratic formula. What does it mean? That in this formula, this y is standing as the answer that I'm looking for. Here, I was looking for x because the question is given to me in terms of x. Y here, the question is given to me in terms of y, meaning I am looking for the value of y here. But in the main quadratic formula, the letters I can see are A, B, and the C. The same thing here. So that is why in every question given in quadratic equation, which you want to solve using quadratic formula, you have to first and foremost find the values of those letters in the formula, which is R, A, B, and C. And that is what we have done here. By comparing the quadratic form, okay, the format of a quadratic equation with the given question, so that it will help you to understand these values, A, B, and C. Now, next thing to do is to substitute the values of A, B, and C into the quadratic formula, and then we simplify and get our answers. Maths is sweet. Remember, I am tutor Cletus Okode. My job and my field is teaching mathematics. Subscribe to my channel. Nobody is too old to learn. Subscribe to my channel with your children so that you learn with me mathematics. I'll be teaching different topics in mathematics through my channel. This is a way that I can give to the society. Please subscribe to my channel. You don't pay to subscribe, just click subscription button and also, of course, notification button. That is all I need from you as a way of supporting this young man, teacher, tutor, Cletus Okode. Thank you. All right, let's go on. Now, substitution next. I have y equal to minus b, but my b, see, there is minus in my formula. I put that minus. Then my b is minus 13. I also come to b and write minus 13. This minus is from the formula. Y minus 13 is the exact value of b. Then plus or minus square root of minus 13. That is the value of b. My b is minus 13. Then formula has minus. Then I have 4 times a. And my a here is 3. Then my c is minus 10. Everything divided by 2 times a. And my a is 3. So we move on. Meaning that minus minus is plus. So I have 13 plus or minus the square root of minus 13 squared is 169. What does it mean? Minus 13 minus 13 times minus 13. Minus times minus is plus. Then 13 times 13, okay, is 169. So 13 squared, negative 13 squared is 169. Minus times minus we change to plus. And the 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 10 will give me 120. So I have 120. Everything all over 2 times 3, which is equal to 6. I'm moving on. So y, please don't leave the page. Continue, you will learn to the end. Then I have 13 plus or minus. Now I want to add 120 and 169. 169 and 120. This is 9, this is 80, this is 2. So I have in the square root 289. Everything over 6. Life is beautiful. So this is equal to, okay, let me put it like this. Y is equal to 13 plus or minus square root of 289 is 17. Square root of 289 is 17. Okay, all over 6. See, I have reached the same position where I split it, do the plus side and do the minus side in order to get the 2 answers required. Because it is that plus and minus that helps you to get the 2 answers. Because it is quadratic, the answers should be 2. If it is cubic, you get 3 answers. If it is linear, you get 1 answer. But this quadratic, you get 2 answers. Even if it's 1 answer, that 1 answer will be for 2 twice. Alright? So therefore, I want to do like this. I want to do for plus, that is y equal to 13 plus 17 over 6. And I want to do another one y equal to 13 minus 17 over 6. What does it mean? I have plus or minus, meaning I will use plus to get the first answer, I will use minus to get the second answer. That is just it. Therefore, doing this, I am going to have 13 plus 17 will give me 30 over 6. 30 over 6, which is equal to 5. I have gotten the first answer. My second answer is going to be y equal to 13 minus 17 is going to give me minus 4, okay? Minus 4 all over 6, which is equal to y equal to minus 2 over 3. So in conclusion, we can now say that the two answers for the y, are 5 or minus 2 over 3. Alright, so what does it mean? That any of these two values, when substituted into this equation, must give us 0. Please, before we end the video, let us try 5. Put 5 in the position of y. Let y be 5. If you put 5 here, you know 5 raised to the power 2 is 25. And 25 times 3 will give me 75. Noted. Then 13 times 5. 13 times 5. 5 times this, of course, it will be 65. 5 times this is 15. Okay? And 5 times this is a 6. So I now have minus 65 minus 10. Alright. So what does it mean? That the 5 replacing y being substituted with y will now give me 5 raised to the power 2, 50. Then, 25. Then 25 times 3, 75. Y 13 times 5 is 65. Then I now have 75 minus 65 is 10. And that 10 minus this 10 will give me 0. So that is just a way to know, cross-check your answer after getting it. If you try negative 2 over 3, you still get 0. The answers are correct. Alright, thank you for standing by. Thank you. Please subscribe to my channel. I am Tutor Cletus Okoli. God bless you.